Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. And I don't know about you, but I love simplicity. And with Anchor, it's just point, click, record, and you're on your way to a successful podcast. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I cannot wait to hear your podcast. Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Unedited. I'm your host, Patrick, and as always, my co-host is here. He's asked me to call him Alex, V as in Valium. Not Valium, but Valium, the narcotic. Hey, how you doing tonight, Alex?
Good, actually. I have my strawberry banana V8, and I am
Noticing a theme.
Yeah.
The letter V.
What do you mean?
Alex V is in Valium. Drinking is V8.
Yeah, I that shows how much I listen. Alex V is V8. There we go.
It's interesting that an 8
All right, well, wait.
Drug talk. What?
All right, without actually starting it over, let's try this intro one more time. Introduce me as Alex V as in V8. There we go. All right, everyone, just close your eyes and all right, go ahead.
But you don't actually want to start it over? Because we can. I can just delete this. It'll be easy.
No.
What? No, really. What is the improvement you want to make? Because I'll just delete this.
No, don't delete this. No, this is
Alex. I have to delete it now.
You don't.
We've gone too far. I have to delete it.
This is a true drama that people paid. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just say Alex V as in V8.
No.
Just say it, please, for me.
Alex V as in V8.
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing tonight, Patrick?
I'm comfortable, actually. I feel very subjugated. And,
subjugated?
Yeah, I think that's the appropriate word. I feel like I was just told to dance, and I did it. So, first and foremost, we want to welcome all of our new listeners. We appreciate you guys.
You're just gonna ignore the question I just asked?
What question did you just ask?
I asked, what does subjugated mean? You're my dictionary, because you use all these big words I don't know.
Oh, subjugated. It just means to be demeaned or not belittled, but demeaned or made to feel less or controlled. Subjugated. To be made a subject. To be told to do something and listen.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
You felt subjugated because I was trying to do a bit that was kind of funny.
Anyways, everybody that's new to the podcast, we welcome you. And what?
I'm better than improv at you. I'm better at improv. I can't speak.
You know, that kind of devalues your point there.
Okay. Continue on. I apologize.
I had an honest question for you, Alex.
I'm ready.
Completely random, but you know, we're both on the dating apps. You know, the internet ones, right? You can admit it. You do a little perusing.
I do a little of the swiping, the swiping.
Do you ever like see a female and think, oh, she's kind of cute, and then you scroll down and you see the letters TS?
TS.
That stands for transsexual. Do you ever have that happen to you? Be honest.
I've had similar things happen.
Uh-huh. Where you're like, hold up, wait a minute, that's a dude.
Well, what had happened one time, someone had called in out where I work, and they sent another person to cover their shift. Uh-huh. And this cute chick comes out, and she has like a buzz cut. But I still, like, she was cute and everything, but she is in the middle of transitioning. And he is, I'm going to call him he now. He is still transitioning, I believe. I don't know how that process works. And so, like, now I have this confliction in my brain. It's like, are you still cute to me? Because that mustache is kind of throwing me off. I don't know. But you do you. You do you. And I support you. But to answer your question, yeah, my heart sinks a little bit when I swipe right, and it's like, wait, no. I support you, but no.
Okay, that's a good response. So here that leads us to my question, which is, would you, Alex, V as in Valium, refraining from saying your actual last name, would you date a fully post-op transgender female, male to female?
That's a very good question.
Just out of curiosity, would you be comfortable? I mean, if it was a convincing, situation.
Well, I'll be honest. My gut instinct is to say no.
Right.
Like I'm actually trying to convince myself to come up with a good reason as to why I would do it. You know what I mean? And that seems like an asshole thing to say, but I'm being honest about, like, you're giving me a situation and I'm going to answer honestly. I honestly wouldn't feel comfortable, and it's not because I disagree with what they are doing or anything. It's just that's something I'm not comfortable. There's no way to word this without sounding horrible. But that is such a commitment that it's not a one and done thing. You still have to, like, take the testosterone medications and the hormone, whatever you got to do. I could ramble for the next 5 minutes, but to wrap up what I'm saying is, I wouldn't be keen on dating them if there's some sort of, like, connection made on a friendship level and it kind of went from there. I mean, you could say that about anything, though.
I'm just curious at the question, because it was just something I was thinking about, because there's a lot of situations, and when I say situations, I mean people procedurally or cosmetically, they look attractive. They look like an attractive female, for all intents and purposes, that's what they are. Mentally, physically, whatever. So it kind of adds this conflict, and I was just curious as to what your perspective is on that, because I know I would be a little hard pressed, because sometimes you can't even tell.
Right.
Especially post-op.
I mean, the issue wouldn't be that, for me, it wouldn't be that, oh, no, she looks like, Jennifer Lawrence. You couldn't even tell. It's not even that. It's just, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of a clever analogy, and there's nothing that's coming to mind. I don't know. Like, it would be like if you gave me a cheeseburger and told me it was a cheeseburger, but like it was actually a tofu burger. And there's nothing wrong with tofu burgers, but you know, and you still ate it, but you would just know it's not a cheeseburger. But it's saying it's a cheeseburger, but in reality, it's a tofu burger. No, that's a horrible. No, shit. No, fuck. No, I just realized what the fuck I just said. No. Oh, God. Okay. Don't delete this, but let me just go on record. As I just realize what I was just saying. I don't condone what I just said.
Typical white guilt.
No. Oh, God. I just realized what I was saying. Scratch all that. All right. It's hard. Listening. It's hard. It's hard to
spoke my piece, and I didn't dig a hole. I purely said that it would be a tough decision. I didn't have an issue, because realistically it would be a tough decision. It's not like, because it doesn't. It's not what a man with a man at that point. It's a man. You could still be a heterosexual. It's just, I don't know. If we're, on a technical perspective, it'd still be, because it's not like you're attracted to the male genitalia.
Right.
It's still the female form. It's just not naturally occurring, I guess, is what I'll say. It was more of a manufactured female form because it didn't occur naturally. And that doesn't speak to the mental side of things or the psychological side of things. But I just wanted to have that conversation while everybody else is arguing about bathrooms.
Now, question, just kind of bounce off that, and you won't like this question. Have you ever been curious? Have you ever had homosexual thoughts?
It's weird that you say it that way, man.
I don't know why I said it like that. I wish I could take that
back. No, I haven't, and I'll tell you what. I at times I barely have the regular run of the mill hetero. So I like, my brain is so overcome by thinking and logic that it's like half the time I'm not thinking about anything at all. In that regard. Anyways, how about you?
Yeah, I had thoughts, but except those thoughts lasted maybe about 2-3 days. Like, if I'm being blunt, like, I was like, because I wasn't going at, I think I was 13 or something. I don't know. But I don't know why I lingered on that. But I wasn't sure if I liked chicks, and cuz I have friends that would be like, "Hey, Stephanie likes you or whatever," and I would be like, "I don't care." "Oh, why? Are you gay?" And I'm like, "What's gay?" Because I was so not in the loop of relationships or anything that it wasn't so much as ignorance as it was I just didn't know and didn't care. I just wanted to play video games and have fun in life. And so when that was proposed to me, I was like, "Oh, am I? Do I like guys? Do I like girls? What?" And I think I saw a butt and thought, "Yeah, I like chicks."
That's an interesting story. There's a whole slew of comments you folks can add to that. Just picking apart the details of Alex's story, and I would enjoy it if you did. Just put it in the comments on the post that I share this in. And if not, go to the Facebook page and drop it in the comments, because I'm going to post this episode on the Facebook page, and you guys can just comment on it.
Oh, please don't post it on the Facebook page.
It's going to happen. Okay, so next.
Before you go, remember what you're going to say. I just got to stress again. I don't think before I speak. I think while I speak. So it's not necessarily good. So please, I support everything. Please don't hate me. I'm trying. Please.
All right, next topic. Messages and the assholes that don't respond to them. Alex?
What are you getting at?
I don't know. If perhaps somebody had sent somebody a message and an asshole didn't respond, what do you think the motivation might be for something like that? Sounds sinister to me. Downright psychological.
The person receiving it.
The person getting the message, Alex. It seems sociopathic to me that they wouldn't respond even though they'd seen it.
How would you know they've seen it?
Because this isn't their first rodeo.
What are you getting at? I feel like you're trying to pinpoint a specific thing that happened. Probably.
All right, next conversation. All right, has anybody ever seen?
I love that movie.
Has anybody ever seen The Twilight Zone? That is a show that I've been watching pretty much in all of my free time. Rod Sterling. It's a pretty.
This guy has been wanting me to watch fucking Twilight Zone for like the last 3 weeks, and I'm just like, oh god, no, life is the Twilight Zone.
No, there's so many good stories in the Twilight Zone. It's like my leisure time. It's like it's like reading a book. They use so many $10 words. They actually had to be entertaining because it was before all of the fancy, digital stuff we have nowadays. And they actually had to, act with their faces and their emotions and their words moreover than they do nowadays, where it's just fart jokes and, gag humor. Anyways,
I think my favorite Twilight Zone episode was I don't remember the name of it, but the guy, he wakes up in this town that is completely empty, and he's just going around trying to find anybody, and I think the phone rings a couple of times and he's talking to someone, and the person is just being cryptic, and he finally gets on a train to go somewhere. He falls asleep on the train and he ends up back in the same town. And the whole thing was he was basically in a toy set.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah. And like this little kid was watching him and basically giggling that, yeah, I guess it was a really trippy episode because it wasn't the typical last man on earth kind of thing. It was, oh, okay, well, I just got to leave town. He got on the train, tried to leave, and he just, because those train tracks that circle like a table or whatever. It was basically that. Yeah. He just circled the table probably for 8 hours because I don't know how long he'd sleep until he'd realize, oh my god, I'm still on the same table.
Huh.
It's trippy. If I can find the name of it, I will bring it up. But I don't know.
I'll get there eventually. I'm watching all the episodes.
Oh god.
So without any transition at all, the very next thing I wrote down in my little notebook here, because I have a notebook, people. I take this seriously. I wrote Damn Mongolians. And to me, it's a really easy way for me to remember that I wanted to talk about a certain individual, maybe the manager of City Walk, who wants to build a wall, and he keeps getting thwarted by the Mongolians. So, and we're not going to say who's right or who's wrong, because some people think the Mongolians are right. Some people think.
I knew you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. I fear this every time we start a podcast. Just like, please don't ask about politics. Please don't ask about Trump. And you're like,
I don't know what Alex, don't.
Don't
bring up politics. Listen to me.
I want everyone to know. I asked him, like, you're not going to bring up the wall, are you? Because not to date this episode, but Trump wants to build the government shutdown and we're chaos. And he's like, everything is political, friend. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And here he was, damn Mongolians.
Listen, I wasn't talking about Donald Trump. I don't know where you got that idea, but since you brought it up, I think.
What other?
I think
it's there.
I don't think a wall is necessary. That's my opinion, simply because there's so many other ways, things, and people can get into the country, and it's not all nefarious. Granted, there are a lot of setbacks and blah, blah, blah. But then again, our own people suck. So work that shit out. Anyways, that's how I feel about it. A lot of our own people suck. So, and it's funny because everybody wants to blame the foreigners when we all suck. Literally all of us. There's not one person you can look at that's like, no, that guy's okay. Steve's cool. No, Steve sucks too. So, yeah, we're just a bunch of people on a shit mound saying, this is my shit mound. It's like, it's everybody's shit mound. That's how I feel. I don't care. It's the American shit mound, okay? It's the American dream. And we should all have a, equal opportunity at it.
It makes me think of a Tool song.
Probably. No. Maybe I was a little too verbose in the way I said that. Basically, I think I'm not backpedaling like Alex would. I'm telling you that I think that money, and I've seen, several posts, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but there are many, many things that we could spend money on that would actually benefit people right now and fix the problems long term in terms of eco-friendly energy solutions and solar power and new roads, shelters for the homeless, freaking better assistance for the vets. Hell, for a fraction of that, and I'm talking 1/10, we could secure the border without a wall if they were really concerned about it. But it's the buzzword. It's the wall. It's the wall. It's the unifying thing that's not really going to do anything. So that's really how I feel about it. And that's not against either one side or another. I want everybody to win, but I just think it's silly. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's silly.
And that's my honest opinion. And I guess if you guys are just going to start yelling obscenities and get all irate with me, it's like, dude, I'm not saying you're entirely wrong. I'm just saying a 5.4, 5.7. Have you ever seen $5.7 billion? Have you seen $5.7 billion? That's a lot of fucking money. Don't think about the wow. Think about the fucking money. That's our money. That's our tax dollars. You know what I mean? That's our tax dollars. That's like literally, that's our money. They're saying, fuck it, let's build a fence. When we could help people. Help people. And I get, secure your border. You wouldn't let people into your house. Secure the border. Yeah, but how long has it been without a fucking wall? Tell me that. How long have we not had a wall and been perfectly fine? It's not the wall that's going to fix things. It really isn't. But that's just my opinion.
Walls can get torn down.
Anyhow, that they're my guardians. Anyways, to get less political, because I know you probably all fucking hate me now, but if you're still listening, I love you.
You know, I didn't think we'd go into this podcast losing half of our viewers, but
we love you. We do. Even if no, really, because I'm not like dissing anybody that supports anything. Because just because I don't agree with one thing doesn't mean I can't agree with something else. It's not a coverall situation. It doesn't have to be black or white, guys. It can be gray. There are many colors in the spectrum in terms of opinions.
That sounds depressing.
Well, my life is depressing. Anyways, I have a video game console again and a very wicked streaming setup. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, it is Junior Aces. Junior as in like, hey, Junior, but it's spelled out, not the JR, Junior. Aces as in ACES 23. You can follow me on there. I do live streams on there occasionally. Alex has one as well. I believe it's Black Tull 89. Black as in the color. Tull as in Jethro Tull, Tull. 89 is in the year 89, I imagine. Yeah. And he does streams as well. So if you want to keep in contact with us outside of the podcast, because sometimes we slack on that a little bit, you can do that through the live streams, and we would be happy to chat with you, because sometimes it's completely dead in our streams and it makes us sad.
We do have a couple friends that join us. I plan on streaming the Resident Evil 2 remake when it comes out on the 25th. So if you guys want to watch us or watch me or him make an ass out of ourselves playing a brand new game, come on down.
Yeah, and outside of that, you can watch me be horrible at any video game you like, because I'm horrible at video games.
He's terrible.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst at video games.
I'm sitting here watching him play, screaming at my TV because he's chasing this one person. The person goes right. He goes left for whatever reason. And I'm like, why'd you go left? Why? What are you doing?
Yeah, and that's pretty much how I play video games. I just keep dying, and then I get depressed and I stop playing. But if I had some people watching me, it might be a little bit easier to do. Anyhow, that's just something I wanted to mention. I'm back on the video game train. I have a console. Hey, and if you comment on our post on Facebook, and this isn't like a promotion thing, it's just an easy way for us to see. If you comment your gamer tags, we can add you. And if there's any kind of like multiplayer co-op games, we might be able to do that.
As much
just for fun.
As much as I'm not a fan of it, me and Patrick do dabble in. Oh god, I can't even say it. We sometimes dabble in the Fortnite. Oh god, I hate saying that word.
You just made 30,000 people gag because you did that.
Because Fortnite is just such a it's a meme in itself. But
it's a very cartoony game, and it makes me feel bad about myself.
But I will admit, like when you're in the heat of it, it is fun. The idea of it is still stupid as shit, but when you're in the moment of it, I mean, you can say that about any game, but for that, it's fun. So it's
entertaining, yeah.
If you guys want to make like you can have big parties on that, right?
You can have up to 4, but I think you can do servers where you have like 100 people.
Oh, that would be fun.
If you get on your own server. I think that's how it works.
And I think you have to like contact Fortnite or something for that. I don't know.
Something.
Anywho.
But if you guys have any good video game suggestions on either the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, definitely shoot us a comment or a message or something on the Facebook, because we'd be open to hearing it. And if you're interested in seeing something played, even if it's a sleeper game that no one's ever really heard of, Alex will play anything. I watched him play a 2D platformer the other day. It was really stupid. And he was getting scared, like, oh no, it's black over here, it's dark, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, it's literally 2D.
Yeah, that's because you don't have fun.
No, there was no danger in that game. You didn't die at all.
Yeah, and then you left, and I started dying left and right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's called building the story, man.
Oh, I didn't enjoy it, man. All right, so on to our next topic.
Man. Okay, next topic.
All right, this one's a little bit more of a serious topic again, but I don't think it's political. It's more philosophical. Do you think modern day work is futile for the workers themselves? Like, do you think like working for I don't know, Walmart, for instance, as an employee is futile in life? Or like, say you worked for Speedway gas stations, like, do you think that somebody that reports to work every day and works their 40-hour week, do you think it's like futile? Do you mean, because I was really considering that. And the reason I specify for the workers is because the people up top are getting paid, right? They're making their money.
Right.
But as an employee, I mean, how long do you have to save and scrape by to get anywhere? It's like by the time you have enough to live outside of work without working, you're too old to even enjoy it. So is it futile? That's what I'm saying. Should you just steal your time now? I mean, because it just, to me, it just seems like we're running in place, really, for a bigger entity or bigger entities. In my mind, it's like you got to start your own business, be your own boss, because then eventually you can have people work for you. So it's kind of like you have to become the man to beat the man. Does that make sense? Or does that sound totally outlandish?
I mean, you're throwing me off, man.
It's a serious question.
I mean, a job is a job. I mean, you could feel that way at any job.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it futile for the workers, the working class?
It depends on that. It depends on like the general mentality of the average worker.
I mean, do you take the money from the job and start your own business? Because I feel that's the only way you get out of the hamster wheel.
I mean, no one wants to work in like a Subway or a Speedway the rest of their life.
No, I agree.
I mean, unless like, they're in a position of, salary and, they're doing well for themselves. But like you said, for the average 40-hour a week guy that's just there, making sandwiches or whatever, I mean, yeah, it is kind of futile unless you're doing something on the side or something that is building, helping your brain grow and helping you grow as an individual, whether it's school or, a hobby or something. Because,
to me, it feels
like a lottery of sorts, because it's like we're always told about these successful people, the people that scrape by and they got through and they made it, right? Just by keeping their head down and doing a good job, right? Well,
Right.
we're told about these people, and it's like, but how many people actually get that lucky break, and how many people stay at a dead-end job for 20 years and then get fired right before they qualify for pension? You know, it just, in a lot of cases, and I hate to sound cynical, but in a lot of cases it seems like a big con. You know, they need people to work those jobs, so why would they get, people, or let people that are good at them get out of them,
Well, every job's a con. Every place has the ability to pay their workers above minimum wage. Like,
that's not, I don't want to talk about that. That's too political. I'm kidding, Alex. No, I understand.
You are kidding? God damn it! I can't tell with you. I'm just saying, like, the amount you're getting paid also kind of comes into play, because I could tell you this: if I was making $17 an hour doing exactly what I'm doing now, I would say it's not futile, and I would be kind of living up life. I would be able to, start my business or whatever. But that's not the case. I'm making, like, I don't know how much I'm making. I haven't checked in a minute. But I'll just say I'm making like over $300 a week, and I'm doing okay because I live by myself and I eat like crap. And
well, I guess, I don't know. What's the solution then? I mean, there are jobs that don't warrant like a crazy high hourly wage because they're easy, right? Right. And I would almost argue some of the easier jobs pay better. They're just harder to get. I don't know. There are jobs that pay more when they should pay less, and there are jobs that should pay more when they don't pay as much. Like, I mean, you've literally had to clean up human feces.
Yeah.
That's a biohazard, man. That's like, there's a lot of things you can catch from that. And I don't know, it's kind of like, if it takes you 30 minutes to do that, and I know your hourly rate, imagine somebody threw a $5 bill at you and said, hey, go clean that up in 30 minutes. Like, when you look at it that way,
yeah.
When you look at it that way, it's kind of disrespectful. It's like, what am I going to do with this $5? Like, that's human shit. Like, on the floor. Like, that's a lot of human shit. I wouldn't do it for $20 in a half hour. Like, that's, I don't know. Maybe that's just a different perspective, but it just doesn't, certain things don't seem right. And I was just, I guess that's what I wrote. I wrote, does it seem futile for modern day workers? And I'd say in a lot of cases, it could be argued that it is, because we've got so many bills coming out of very little.
Right.
I mean, do you think there's more to say on that or no?
I mean, I think we're both kind of agreeing with each other, because it is, like, at the end of the day, yeah, it is futile, especially if you're not doing anything to better your current standing. Because if you're
say that,
yeah, like, if you're, like you said, if you're just going to work and coming home, going to work, coming home, then yeah, you're kind of just living to die or something.
Yeah. Well, that's why I did specify, you're not getting anywhere unless you start becoming the boss, beat the boss to beat the boss, or be the boss to beat the boss, kind of thing, And I don't know. I guess that's where I was going with it. I really believe that you have to start being your own proprietor, and you have to own your time. You have to own your time and say, this is what I do with it now, and this is why people pay me, and I decide how much I charge. That kind of thing. And I'm not talking about prostitution. Don't be a prostitute, okay? I know it sounded that way, but that's not what I meant. The next thing I had on our bullet points here was I just want to talk briefly about the future of Unedited. And I wanted to ask you, Alex, because Alex and I haven't discussed this. What do you see in the future of Unedited?
FaceTime.
I'm sorry, what?
FaceTime.
No, I heard that. I want to know what you mean.
Having video accompaniment to our podcasts. The thing that we've been trying to do desperately, but we just can't make work.
Oh. That's the big innovation. He wants you to be able to see the bullshit as well as hear it. Okay. All right, I understand. I'm kidding, though, guys.
I mean, I wish I could elaborate, but that's kind of it. Like, because
I have a bigger dream.
What?
I have a bigger dream than that, and I want all of you to hear it. What?
For Unedited.
For Unedited, yeah.
What is
and
your
for all of our listeners?
What's your big dream for Unedited?
I'm talking in every man's podcast, every woman's podcast, every non-binary and cisgender and all that good stuff. Everybody's a podcast. Podcast for the people. You know what I mean? I'm talking branding, a bigger network for funnier videos, better equipment. Maybe even a TV spot someday. That's what I see. That's what I'd like to see. And if I'm lucky, we'll land somewhere in the middle. And I mean, obviously, we need your help to do that. Every one of you listening, if you share it with a friend or maybe your family, if they're cool, share it on your Facebook page, whatever, on your Instagrams, then we can make that happen. But that's really I just want it to be more than two guys venting into the void. I want people to hear it, and I want people to talk back. That's my dream for Unedited.
I mean, it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility.
Nothing is. I mean, have you seen some of the crazy shit that's going on right now? Nothing is outside the realm of possibility. I mean, look. I'm not even going to say names, but when I say nothing is outside the realm of possibility, look at the stuff in the world. The first thing you think of, there you go. That's what I meant. The second thing you thought of, that's exactly what I mean. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Okay? Anything you think of and you're like, wow, that's absurd, proves my point. So, I guess Alex's answer was he wants to do more video-oriented things, which is cool to me.
You know what? On that note, Patrick, I would love to hear your review of the ad I just made.
Oh, yeah. Alex and a knockoff version of me made a video. They made a video, which was an ad for Alex and I's podcast. That wasn't grammatically correct. And It's everything you would expect a 2 a.m. infomercial-esque ad for the podcast to be. It had dumb white people. It had jump cuts. It had music. And at the very end, it had all the information on where you could find our stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was very 2 a.m. ad. That 2 a.m. infomercial. And I don't mean the Girls Gone Wild one either. You all know what I'm talking about.
You could definitely tell that I made that ad after watching way too many episodes of Mad TV.
Yes. But you know what's even funnier, Alex?
What?
It is almost like you could see my notes. that was like I'm going to tell everybody. On my notes here, the very next thing I had written was a ad in parentheses. The synchronicity between these two depressed people is good. It's very, very, very on point.
I should make it clear to our listeners that Patrick doesn't tell me what is on his notepad. He just springs it on me, and I just stagger about like a deer in headlights. Like, oh no, the wall and transsexuals and.
What was funny is earlier, before we did this, probably an hour before, he goes, "Yeah, just don't spring any stuff about building the wall on me, okay?" And I literally had it written down, and I'm like, "Huh." And there was no context. There was no information for him to say that. He's just like, "Just don't talk about the wall," and I'm like, "Well, fuck, that's the first thing on my list." I need to be creative about this. And I was. Anyways.
Damn
I thought that was funny. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little South Park reference. Man. But life is getting stranger by the day. We're both getting older. I'll tell you, it was kind of funny, and I don't mind you guys knowing my age. I'm a 25-year-old man. And I identify as such. I was telling a customer, I said, "Man, I'm gonna be 25 soon." And I said, "Oh man, that's a quarter of my life gone by." And I said that because in my mind, I think in terms of song lyrics. You know, because there's a song where he's like, "Quarter of my life gone by." You know, I can't remember if it was a classic song or not. Alex, do you recognize it? Anyway.
Nope.
Okay, well, somebody might, and if you do, again, slap it in the comments or whatever, and I hate it when people say that. It sounds so precarious. But I said, "Oh, man, quarter of my life gone by." And I said that to a customer, and he goes, "If you're lucky." Or wait, he didn't say no. He didn't say "if you're lucky." He said, "Well, that's a little optimistic, don't you think?" And I was like, "Well..." He's like, "Yeah, you think you're going to live to be 100? And I was like, "I guess not. Thanks." So it's like a third or a half of my life. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that.
It's very ominous of that random guy.
It was. And this was at my professional job. He goes, "That's a little optimistic." And I was like, "What?" What do you mean? Are you gonna kill me later?
I guess
that was my first thought. But yeah, so it's insane to see people you went to high school with, or even middle school with, getting grown up and turn out. You know, and that's not anybody specific, because I would never say that about somebody specifically. And by turn out, I just mean fat and like wrinkly and like old, because I'll admit I've gained some weight, and you know, Alex has gained some weight, and a couple of our other friends gained weight, and it's like, damn, this is what happens when your metabolism slows down and you still eat all the same shit that you used to eat. I don't know. The mortality aspect of life is an interesting thing to think about. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Alex? Do you have any? That's a pretty tame topic.
No.
Cool. So,
no, that's we're reaching a point where we're realizing that our current bad habits are kind of actually affecting us, and it's whether it's smoking or eating bad or I don't know, watching porn every morning and night.
Every morning?
Yeah, every morning.
Hey, so speaking of bad habits,
I get my daily Siri fix
in the morning.
Yeah.
Before or after the shower?
Oh, you're generous, aren't you?
Apparently, you are. No, I actually, speaking of bad habits, I have a bag of chips, and I have some jalapeno cheddar. Jalapeno cheddar to Fritos dip. And I'm gonna go to town on that after this. But I know it's bad for me, but I can't stop. So none of you can make me. All right. That turned weird really quickly. Masturbation.
Good
Masturbation job. And potato chips. Yeah, that's cool.
There's oh God, there's a Mad TV sketch that literally says that. Oh
really?
God. This guy can't stop killing people, and he's freaking out. Oh my God, I can't stop it. It's like potato chips and masturbation. He says it just like that.
So pretty much exactly what I said.
Yeah, exactly what you said.
That's weird, man. That's actually pretty strange. I don't want to delve into any broad topics right now, because I could get really philosophical, and it's not about potato chips and masturbation, but my mind is so thinking in terms of Twilight Zone right now, and I'm trying not to go.
If you could make your own episode of the Twilight Zone, what would it be about?
Well, it'd have to be. I mean, it'd have to be because Rod Serling, he wrote the episodes of the Twilight Zone. That he's the writer, and he did a lot of episodes where people had existential crises, where they were in a town where the people were like frozen, right? Or time was stopped, or there was nobody there, and there was just a guy by himself, like, where is everybody? And there was even one where a guy went to work one day, and then it turned into a movie set, and they were like, no, this is an actor you're playing in a movie. And he's like, are you kidding? I need to get home to my wife. And it was almost like there was a wall break between the movie and his actual life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The character was real, but then it turned into a movie, and he's like, I need to get back. And there is no getting back. You're an actor. What's wrong with you? Are you cracking up? And then he went back to the office and disappeared inside the script, back into his life. And it made you sit there and wonder, wait, what was real to begin with? Did the movie come as a result of this man's life? Or did this man's life only exist inside the script? I don't know. That's the kind of trippy stuff that I like in regards to Twilight Zone, where you're watching it and you're like, how is this going to end? Like, because there's not... Twilight Zone doesn't always have happy endings. Like, it's savage. Yeah. I hate the fact that I use the word savage, but like people like die at the end of episodes, or they disappear at the end of episodes. It's not like, oh, they're the protagonists, they're going to make it. No, it sometimes it ends negatively. And this guy disappears inside this movie script to go back to be with his wife, but you're still left wondering if he was a real person and he really lost his mind, and that's all fake. And you're like, huh. So I imagine I would do a similar episode to that, in which a man goes to work and things just start getting weirder until eventually, I don't know, the whole town turns on him when he tries to leave.
Huh.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, some like weird, when the dreamer realizes they're dreaming kind of thing. Like, that's the kind of thing I dig. Like, consider what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, consider you. Consider this: a simple gas station clerk reports to his last shift. Ding ding, go through the door. Hi, Sandra, how's it going? Oh, hi, Mark, how's it going? And then, all right, that'll be 2035. Ding, all right, have a nice day. And then like, I don't know, you see like one of the customers' faces is like fucking stuck in place, like in a weird strokey look. And then you say to Sandra, your coworker, Sandra, what's wrong with that customer? And then she looks at you and goes, oh, what do you mean? And then you look back at the customer, and the customer's being like carried outside the front door. And then, Sandra's like, Alex, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, I was just worried about that lady. And I don't know, maybe Sandra says something fucking ominous, like, oh, don't worry about that lady. She's just crazy, And then slowly but surely, weird shit starts happening throughout the day until eventually something's up, and you try to leave. You try to go to, I don't know, let's say a neighboring city or town. And once everybody starts realizing that you're trying to get away, then all the cars converge on you, the people converge on you, the animals, until you're surrounded and shouting in terror, and then it ends with everybody like closing in on you and engulfing you. Like, including children, like everybody. Maybe everybody that you saw throughout your day. And then you're left wondering, is this aliens? What?
What would be the Rod Sterling ending monologue to that?
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Let
me try his voice. Hold on.
Can I? Okay.
What? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it has to incorporate this. It has to incorporate how most days can be unextraordinary and most days can be boring and unimpressive. But then again, some days can be horrifying.
Hold on, let me try something.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Another day as a glass.
That was good. You can do it.
Okay. Another day as a glass. Why am I saying glass?
That's a good question, Samuel Jackson.
It's because I'm focusing too much on it. Another day as a gas station attendant turns sour. Most days are innocent, but days like today, it wasn't. I could almost only okay. Most day. Okay, I'm not going to linger on this because this is getting boring. But
I've got it. I've got it.
You try. You try.
Okay. Wait, hang on. Another day. Damn it! Now I got to say. Now I'm saying what you were saying.
Another day as a gas station clerk turns sour, but not the kind of sour that's in the gummies that you buy at the gas station.
Oh, that's so dumb.
That's very dumb.
Most days for Alex were stale, but not today. Wait. Hey, okay. I got it.
Okay. I'll do. Oh, wait. Okay. As you're doing it, I'll make the music. All right, you ready? Go.
It seemed that life had gotten a little stale for Alex, but the change came for him in a literal sense. Oh, no, I got it. Actually, stop making the noise. It seemed that life had gotten a little. Stop it, Alex! It sounds like noise on this end, dude. like it sounds like you're screaming into your mic.
Okay, go ahead.
Like in a really bad way, like almost like it's cracking. It seemed that life had gotten a little bit dull for our gas station clerk, Alex. But then change came for him in a literal sense. In the Twilight Zone. That's okay, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, that's all right. After we spent 10 minutes trying to do a fucking outro for a made-up episode.
Sometimes those ending monologues are like, novels. They're
deep, dude. They're actually like super deep sometimes. And I'm like, that's like a metaphor for life.
But sometimes they're deep and like novelized, and sometimes they're just short and quick. Because sometimes they'll be like, Jared was an asshole in the Twilight Zone.
Well, yeah. Sometimes it's like, yeah, Jared got what he deserved in the Twilight Zone. Basically like that. Yeah. Anyhow, if you guys like the Twilight Zone, comment. Anyways,
hit that subscribe buttons in the faces.
We don't take it. We don't care.
Logan Paul.
Oh God! Don't please. Oh God! Ew! That you said that, dude. Ew! That you said that.
You at you, man. You at you.
You that you said that. I can't even say anything else. You that you said that. Like gross. You just gave our podcast BD. We're gonna have to get penicillin. It's gonna be a whole thing. God. Oh man. All right. And I'm allergic to penicillin, so you're gonna have to do it.
We're gonna have tents on every block.
Yeah. Anyhow, if you've listened this long and you enjoy hanging out with us, again, share the love. We appreciate it. We most certainly do. We know that we picked up some new listeners. And if you folks listen to this episode 14, we greatly appreciate it as always. And give us all the positive feedback, negative feedback, whatever you want to do. Our real goal is just to get a dialogue. We like talking to you and knowing what your thoughts are on things. Even if they're different from ours, that's totally fine. Adversity breeds innovation. So I appreciate it. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, yeah, yeah.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
What he said. I'm one of the dumbest smart people you'll ever meet, though. So,
and I'm one of the smartest dumb people you'll ever meet.
It's possible. It is possible.
It is also possible for a smart person to be dumb.
Yeah, it's a matter of common sense.
Yeah, and like I say that to some people, and what, that doesn't make any sense. And it's like, no, you know what I mean. You know,
you can have an education that you worked hard for 8 years and still be a chump.
Yeah, you could go to Harvard for 10 years and have the highest doctorate in the world and still not know how many quarters are in a dollar.
That's true. Actually, there's a lot of dumb old people out there. Not to alienate old people. I said there are a lot, that not all of them are. Okay, just so you guys can clarify there. Guys, we're gonna be the dumb old people. You know how that works? You get old and you get out of touch, and you're like, "What is this? Facebookery? What is all this stuff?" But I think we're gonna call it. We appreciate you listening. Again, anything you do to help us out is greatly appreciated. And especially if you listen to this point, that shows that you actually enjoy hearing us banter, which we can dig. All right. I've said my piece. Thank you, guys. And we'll talk to you next time.
Until next time.
All right.